Welcome back to another video. Just as I thought Hyliion was breaking out, they had another pretty shitty month, down 13%. But we're going to be talking about why Hyliion stock is a buy at these levels. So welcome back to another video. My name is Adam. On this channel, we talk about everything related to finance, stocks, investing, saving money, cryptocurrencies, as well as my portfolio. And right now, Hyliion is actually my biggest loser ever in my portfolio. I'm down by 62% in the main account, just over $1,000 down here. I have 60 shares. And again, for full transparency here, I own another 29 shares in my Wealthsimple, and I'm not down by as much, down by about 0.65% on my 29 shares here. So definitely feeling the pain with Hyliion, but I am incredibly bullish on Hyliion's long-term growth potential, as long as, of course, they can deliver as they're saying they're going to deliver. And with the kind of management they have, Hyliion does not seem like a company that overpromises on much. Okay, they may be delayed by a couple of months, but I do think that eventually they will reach the growth numbers that I think they will, and that this 1.79 billion market cap will look like a joke as to what they will achieve long term. Okay, so let's just take a look at some basic numbers. So of course, just under a 2 billion market cap here. 1-year target estimate is actually $13, which represents a pretty significant upside of about 30% from the current price right now, based on 4 analyst price predictions. And I mean, of course, the main concern is that they're burning money and they're not going to have enough money left over. But I mean, they just completed the SPAC offering. Through the merger with Tortoise Acquisition Shell Corporation. And I mean, their most recent, in 2020, they lost about $39 million. I'm not sure how accurate these numbers are, but they're going through a lot of cash right now, building out their Texas space right now, as well as just looking for their ERX demos coming out in the near future. I think some of them are already out and they've received quite positive feedback. Okay, so I mean, that's the main issue right now, is that they're a cash burn and they're not producing much revenue right now. However, on the back half of 2021, so starting relatively soon, into coming up to 2022, they should start increasing their revenue by quite a bit, and that's when I think we could see an actual potential long-term movement in Hyliion's share price. And again, they have some very exciting news that I'm really excited about and very bullish on. So right now we can see short percent of float is sitting at 17%, which is, I always like to consolidate multiple lines of evidence from this. So they're sitting just under 18%, whereas this other site, Short Squeeze, has it at about 18% share shorted of the float, which is okay. 18% share of float is nothing like a Clover Health, which is around 40% shares shorted of float, but 20% is still relatively high when you're talking about stocks that are shorted. So I mean, I could definitely see Hyliion being a short squeeze type of stock. And I mean, I wouldn't necessarily like Hyliion to become a meme stock because there is huge potential, but I would definitely welcome the added interest in people buying into Hyliion because it is decently highly shorted. And I mean, I'm in it for the long term. I'm not going to be selling this stock if it just reaches a potential short squeeze of 50% in the next couple of days or weeks. I'm definitely in it for the long run, but I don't think that this hurts. And I do think that once they start to increase their earnings, as I think they will, that a lot more money could be coming in from Wall Street, and then we could see a tremendous squeeze there, okay, as institutional investors buy and buy more. So as we can see here, 3 analysts think that in 2022, they're going to grow revenue by 5,758%, which would be tremendous growth. Of course, they're losing money right now, so they don't have much of a sales growth estimate. And the average estimate would be 87 million from 1.5 million. So that would be huge growth if they can deliver on their Hypertruck ERX. and their products, as well as their battery cells, which is again another exciting upfront investment. So I mean, what I'm saying is this is definitely a long-term investment. As long as you forget about the noise and buy on the dips, Hyliion should be a profitable investment for you. Okay, and just looking at the charts now, even might be a time to accumulate more shares. I said that I didn't necessarily like buying the stock at $13 a share in my previous Hyliion video. But since then, it has come down to sort of close to riding the lower Bollinger Band, even surpassing it here. The full candle was basically almost out of the Bollinger Band, if I'll zoom in here. And I like to buy stocks, or I like to enter a position, at least for a swing trade or for a long-term type hold, when the stock is riding the lower Bollinger Band. So right here looks like a pretty good entry point, and it's nice that I like to see that there was one green candle and it bounced back off of the green candle. So it's looking like a decent time to enter, just sitting under the 50-day moving average if you're willing to play out Hyliion long term, or even just for a swing play. It might keep going down the lower Bollinger Band. You never know. Mid-cap stocks are getting hit decently hard right now, but if you believe in the long-term future, now might not be a bad time to accumulate shares. And if you're looking just at the RSI sitting at a 41, not really oversold or overbought, and we can see definitely a more bearish indicator in the MACD. As we can see, we're trending downwards here. So yeah, those are just the technicals. Maybe wait a few days to see if it goes lower, but if it doesn't, then it could be a good time to start accumulating shares. And if you go on their website, they have a wealth of information. Again, that all of this information just makes me very excited about the company in general. They're currently building demonstration units for the Hypertruck ERX, and the demo units are expected to launch in the second half of 2021. So sometime really, really soon in the near future. The next thing that makes me incredibly bullish on Hyliion is their next gen battery modules that improves performance, efficiency, and safety. So their new design features advanced cooling technology to enable longer battery life, higher charging rates, and improved safety. And their redesigned battery module features industry-leading Toshiba LTO battery cells. And this thing can charge up to, it has 5 times more cycle life, higher charging rates, and the battery can be recharged in under 8 minutes. So that's a huge deal when you're looking at charge time, is especially for long haul Class 8 trucks. Charging time is everything. Okay, a trucker does not want to sit there for half an hour as their battery refuels. And another piece of news was that I thought that this would push the stock price higher, but it was more of, buy the hype, sell the news type situation when Hyliion joined the Russell 3000 and 2000 indices. They joined them after the US market opens on the June 28th. So this means that a lot of institutional investors, or a lot of investors that tracked the Russell index, would have to buy into Hyliion just because it was part of that index. Okay, that's why, for example, Tesla shot up after it joined the S&P 500, because a lot of investors who just buy the S&P 500 now would have to also own a part of Tesla. And when that happened, you can see June 28th, what did this stock do? It was just basically downhill from there. So again, another classic example of buy the hype, sell the news. And it was already on a downward trending channel, so that didn't help. And of course, we can see it's down by close to 16% since that was announced. So I was expecting a bit of a better outcome from Hyliion, but unfortunately, at least they're included in the index, and now we'll just have to wait and see what happens, and hopefully that they deliver on their expectation as they said they would. So this is also a comparison that I like to make when I'm looking at Hyliion and other mid and small cap stocks. The valuation, so forward PE, is a measure of future potential earnings relative to the share price of the company right now. So it's a price to earnings ratio, and forward PE takes into account how analysts think a company is going to produce their earnings going forward. So large cap stocks, the higher the number, basically the more overvalued. Large cap stocks sitting at a 21, that's relatively high, especially based on this chart right here. You can see how high it is. It's never been higher before if you discount like the past year. And you'd have to go back to, I don't know, like in 2017, 2018, when it was like at around an 18. Okay, so they're pretty highly overvalued if you're just looking at the large cap stocks right here. Mid cap stocks 17.8. So again, I like that valuation a lot more and is more in line with the valuation it has been historically. So the forward PE ratio in 2017 was about the same as it is right now. So that's not concerning to me. And small cap stocks, again, the valuation is not overly crazy relative to the large cap stocks. So this just means that small to mid cap stocks are getting, I think, beaten down unnecessarily relative to the overall market sentiment. So if you're looking for deals out in the market, you might want to look for small to mid cap stocks, of which of course Hyliion is one. So that's why I think you see general weakness right now in Hyliion. Yeah, I mean, that's all I have for you today with regards to Hyliion stock. All I'm saying is that I really hope they start to deliver on their promises in terms of their Hypertruck ERX, as well as, of course, their more hybrid solution. And what they're doing, their competitive advantage, is they are able to take existing diesel fleets and retrofit them so that they're more economically friendly and they're carbon negative, which a lot of companies, of course, don't have the money to put forward to buy a fully electric Tesla semi, for example. So this is a more cost-efficient solution. And long-term, I don't know if Hyliion is a winner. They might even get into fully electric versions and not use diesel at all or compressed natural gas. But I think the stepping stone to that is naturally using the Hyliion technology. So and they've had really good reports coming out of people who through their truck loan program, and of course they have their innovation council that they're part of. They're partnering with a bunch of Class A transportation trucks that do business in there anyways. So I am really bullish on the future of Hyliion long term, at least in the medium term, and I think that it is unnecessarily beaten down and definitely a buy in my opinion. So let me know what you think. Please be sure to grace the like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one, as well as check out, of course, the Discord group right here. Incredibly bullish on Alibaba as well. So peace, cheers, and I'll see you in the next one.